NFL 24 on EA Sports. And we've got the Vikings, Burner at wide receiver. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Vikings and the Lions, next on Madden Football.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have...
The Vikings offense in the midst of a perfect season. They get their first possession here. And the focal point of the offense, as it's been all year, is this man at wide receiver. And he was flat unconscious last week. I mean, all the touchdowns he had should be illegal. Something. Never seen a game like that for a receiver.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. All the years in the league that we've covered, we haven't seen anything even approaching that. Possibly you could have sold me if you told me a running back did it, carrying the ball. We've seen things like that before. But have a pass catcher? Incredible. I mean, that's a great season in one game.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
18 more yards there and another first down. A give right side now to Hunt. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Kareem Hunt, 33 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 6 catches, 117 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play fake, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here we go. In motion right is Osborne. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Kareem Hunt, touchdown, Vikings. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how it's...
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Open man, that's Henry. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with?
There he goes, right side. Big strides, look at him go. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played, the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
A second down throw for Cousins. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Jonathan Mingo, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Falcons trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it.
The Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. They can continue to do damage with it, and in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And now off to the races, down the right side. Kareem Hunt, touchdown, Vikings. Kareem Hunt, 56 yards. And the Vikings come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is.
And now out comes Minnesota. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, right back to Hunt. Good footwork at the 30. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They go play action. Cousins. He's going to look downfield for Henry. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want, it's just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Now he's loose again. Kareem Hunt. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kareem Hunt, 75 yards. And the Vikings get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key
The Vikings head out to take over once again.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Play action now. Cousins. They've got his man complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the
final seconds of this third quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want some...
And out now come the Vikings. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Hey, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And fights through one man. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Cousins on first down. He completes it to Henry. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
A first down throw for Cousins. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Second down and a yard.
Gun.
Cousins to throw it. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as he's down to the 12.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
First down, here's Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henry. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. They'll throw again. Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kareem Hunt with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Vikings up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Hunt will try going up the middle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They're
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Vikings, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.